Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, the committee for rezoning. Join me. Good evening, folks. Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. It's Tuesday, September 27, 2022. A lot is going on here in the city of Yonkers. All the cracks starting to show. Good evening, folks. I came out earlier, so I wasn't initially going to come on, but I wanted to get this one done. Just wanted to talk about I call this the Committee for Rezoning. It's basically a spoof off the Committee for a Better Yonkers. The Committee for a Better Yonkers is a political action committee that has been named in the Mike Cater lawsuit. And it's an interesting organization, very, very interesting. And I'm going to read something from the documents here from the lawsuit. Plaintiff Mike Cater alleges and realleges each and every allegation. On or about June 15, 2021, Spanos Committee launched a series of robocalls defaming Mike. So again, the Yonkers, the Committee for Better Yonkers is the committee that funded. And I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you the expenditures that funded the attacks on Mike Cater. They sent the robocalls, the mailers and stuff. And that's pretty much all this organization was about. And they were heavily funded by developers and real estate lawyers, and some of them that are also in the lawsuit, like Smith Bus Jacobs. So I just want to give that background. The script on June 18th, 2021, called by Spanos Committee, incorporated an unqualified claim of corruption on the part of Mike, despite the fact known to Spano that McLaughlin's sham investigation was politically driven, lacked probable cause, and failed in the end to prove any of the accusations against Mike, which they still have not come to a decision. And you have to understand, if there was something there, if he was guilty, it would have been known already, right? That's what they want. So here's what they said. Corrupt City Council President Michael Cater has officially lost the support of the Yonkers Democratic Party in Tuesday's primary election. Earlier this week, it was reported that subpoenas had been issued in connection with a corrupt city contract Cater gave to a political ally, and in connection with charges that Cater created a hostile workplace for female employees. Now, Democrats are calling on the district attorney to investigate Cater's involvement in illegal voter intimidation. Vote no on corrupt Michael Cater in the Democratic primary for city council. And that's what they were putting out in these robocalls. And that's messed up because, you know, some of them, the Yonkers City Council members, were like really close with him. I mean, Tasha Diaz was in his house, and then they go and do this to him. They knew what was going on. They signed a letter that initiated the investigation. And so the political ally that they're referring to is Smith Bus Jacobs, the law firm that is also a tenant in the building on Yonkers Avenue where Mike Cater has an office. At one point, he was subleasing an area within their office, but they didn't own the building. But then he was eventually, told to leave, and then he didn't have, any other office with them or made any of the payments because of that. And so they're saying that he was getting free office space in return for a contract that he gave Smith Bus Jacob for $70,000, I think. So that's the quid pro quo, right? That's it. Crazy, right? And so people wonder, if this is real, then why have they not investigated other individuals for quid pro quo? I mean, John Rubo has his business located in a building owned by AMS, one of the largest developers here. John Rubo also sits on the real estate committee. He's chair of the real estate committee, I should say. He heads that, and he helped him secure the Chicken Island property from the city. Is that not conflict of interest? How much is John Rubel paying for his rent? Are they giving him any breaks for the, deals that they're doing around town here? They're building that 900 unit project, luxury development, I should say, over on Buena Vista, which is not too far from John Rubel's company, the Yonkers Brewing Company. And he stands to, do well if there's a lot of people living there and they want to all go for brewskis, IPAs and stuff. He's going to make a lot of money. He sees dollar signs. So he has an interest to see that area rapidly developed, especially you want to get that money coming in quickly. So is there not a conflict of interest there for his approving of things going on as he sits on the chair or as the chair of the real estate committee? And there should not be an investigation there? I mean, it's ridiculous, right? And so anyway, moving on. This statement was uttered confident in the belief that IG McLaughlin's first sham investigation would provide the appearance of truth and protect the speaker with no qualification of the accusation that Mike Cater was in fact corrupt. Defendant committee added 3 subsequent postings to their website in late May 2021, republishing and repeating the details of the false quid quo pro accusation, including quote unquote another Cater scandal, which you can find on their website, the committee for betteryonkers.com. So it's very interesting. And I don't know why they got this website still up. You go in there, is all negative stuff about Mike Cater. The only thing that's not negative, that's on there, that's not negative stuff about Mike Cater is an ad for Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, the city council president who beat him in the primary election, who also I spoke about earlier today as 2 of her good friends are, being talked about now. Elroy Craig Harris is the friend of Lakeisha Collins Bellamy. He's the guy that worked at Macy, Municipal Housing Authority of Yonkers, where Lakeisha Collins Bellamy currently works. Also, he was fired for being captured on video going into a stairwell at the Schlobaum Projects or housing project with a 16-year-old girl and exchanging money for sexual acts. That's crazy. And his wife is the deputy commissioner of the Parks Department, a very good friend, according to the Yonkers Tribune, of the city council president, someone who was demoted, not fired, but demoted for running a park permit scheme where she walked away with $3,000 but never produced the permits. So then she winds up as the deputy commissioner of the Parks Department. How does that happen? And did the city council president have anything to do with that? Does she have anything to do with the Democratic or the Yonkers, the Committee for Better Yonkers? Well, the characterization of a no-bid legal work as using public funds for benefit false. I'll move on. In the period from May to November 2021, Spano's committee posted several sponsored advertisements on social media. These sponsored ad featured an under investigation banner over a picture of Mike with bullet points for hostile work environments. Accusation or allegations of the hostile work environment was created with the help of Zeta Juris, who was his chief of staff at the time. Right? So she was setting him up. She was a mole in his office the entire time. And then once she, this started to happen and she sent him an email, right? Or no, was it someone? I'm not sure. One of the 2. Zeta was one of the women. There was another woman also who accused him of a hostile work environment. But Zeta Juris took a break. She took a hiatus after leaving, as being his chief of staff. And then she winds up as supervisor over at the recycling center where I exposed her for being a supervisor, even though she never was able to pass the test twice. So they moved her over recently to Shade Tree, but yet her salary is still the same. We don't care about the title. We want the money back, right? So she and another woman created the story of a hostile work environment in Michael Cater's office as city council president. In fact, one of the women sent Mike Cater an email expressing this concern she had. That same day, the city council president, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, sent a FOIA request seeking a copy of that very email. But how did she know about the email? It's all a setup. This was all a setup. All a setup. The social media advertisement were technically not false as they referred to the fact that McLaughlin's sham investigation, but they served to reinforce and repeat the other statements made by the committee that were false, and they were done knowing that McLaughlin's investigation had no basis. On information and belief, defendant ReZone Gallego is responsible for the day-to-day management of the committee's operational details and finances, and thus had knowledge and helped to cause publication of defamatory content as alleged in this count. So ReZone Gallego, she's the secretary of the Committee for Better Yonkers. In my research, she's also listed as the person who filed for this organization to become incorporated or active. And now her husband is a man by the name of Dennis Gallego, who was the secretary. They like to be, oh no, I'm sorry, was it secretary? Yes, was it secretary, or was secretary or treasurer, one of the two, of the Yonkers Board of Ethics. Her husband was a secretary of the Yonkers Board of Ethics. It's no longer together. It disbanded. It's now defunct. But one of the last things that they, made a decision on, the Yonkers Ethics Board, was whether or not it was appropriate for John Rubo to sit as chair of the Real Estate Committee. They said they saw nothing wrong with it, and now they're no longer active. That's her husband. Now she is involved with the Committee for Better Yonkers, and she's listed as the filer. I believe she's the treasurer of this. And ReZone, you may go down, ReZone. They're gonna make you go down. They're gonna send you down with, oh man. So I'm gonna show you some contribution, some stuff here from contributions that they made for what they paid for, some of the expenditures, because all of the money that they got went to just paying Rose Press Inc., which is the printing company that printed the flyers, the mailers, the palm cards. They paid a company by the name of Phenomenon Post, which I'm not sure what they did, but they did a lot of money. Supposedly, they were the ones that ran the social media campaign against Mike Cater. They were the ones that were in charge of sending out the mailers and actually creating the mailers before they went to get printed by Rose and Print. So almost $200,000 that this committee raised, most of it went to paying these two companies to attack Mike Cater. But did all the money go to the two companies, or was there a kickback? Quote unquote rebate, right? As some people like to say. It's not a kickback, it's a rebate. So it's important to go and look at this. You can go online, Westchester County. You can see who contributes to what. So you can have a better understanding of why our elected officials do what they do. Why do they do what they do? It's all about money. Search contributions by contributor. Committee for Better Yonkers. Contributor name. Actually, I'm going to go by expenditures. I want to show the expenditures for the committee. So you go on here. This is how you do it. Yonkers Committee for a Better Yonkers. And some people say that they're really concerned about information on this committee, what it could lead to. They're concerned. That's what I'm hearing, because there's some things that may not be on the up and up with this organization. This website always takes some time. Not sure why. But anyway, while I wait to bring that up, I wanted to talk about that because it's important. What is it exactly that the Committee for Better Yonkers, how have they made Yonkers better? What have they done to make Yonkers better for the people? I was talking to somebody about this. I think what their vision or their definition of making it better is bringing in luxury real estate, luxury rentals. That's what they're going to do. They're going to push everyone out, and they're going to make it better for rich folks. And so earlier today, I was on Orchard Street, where I was told of a building that was condemned recently, and all the people were forced to leave. Then the building was sold, and the new owners are doing renovation without a permit while the building is condemned. They have scaffolding in the back, and they're allowed to do this. So I'm hearing that this is a scam that's going on. These big developers, have these smaller developers that come into towns with them, The smaller ones know that the big developers are going to build these luxury real estate. They're going to put a bunch of stores and all that. They're going to completely change the area. So the properties around that are also going to need to be renovated and, also change. So they go in and buy them, and they work along with people in the building department to identify properties that have had violations for a while. And then they go and condemn them. Then they help get them sold to these investors that come in, and then they allow them to do the work without permits. They're painting inside, doing renovation. They were gutting it. They had scaffolding in the back, even though that house does look like it's probably going to fall out of its back toward the Sahil down behind it. And then across the street at 87 Orchard, the guy was repairing or redoing an entire 2-story deck without permits. He said he didn't need any permits. He wasn't doing much. Yeah, well, I was simply wanting to change an outlet, and they had me apply for a permit. So I'm trying to look for this committee for a better Yonkers. Here we go. And these are the expenditures. So you can see exactly where their money went. They collected a lot of money from these developers specifically like Ginsburg. And why is that important? Because they are the developers that are looking to develop the Ludlow area. That is the reason why they went after Mike Cater. Mike Cater was pumping the brakes on the Ludlow development, the Ludlow rezoning plan, right? So they can they could bring in these 5-story buildings and block everyone's view. Committee for a Better Yonkers. Let's go from the top amounts. They pay, look, $29,000, right? A total of $162,000 in expenses. $29,000 to Phenomenon Post, which is a multimedia company in Pittsburgh. And I don't understand what exactly did they do for $29,000. I didn't see nothing, incredible. Any videos that were amazing. I mean, any video I may have seen of any of these candidates, anyone could have done. First-year student at some film school, someone who just taught themselves. I don't want to diss people who taught themselves, because I'm saying it's an amateur. $21,000 to Rose Press Inc., which is the company owned by the brother-in-law of the mayor, Mike Spano. The gentleman's name is Pat Monsanto. He used to be a board of trustee. He was on the Yonkers school board of trustee. And then this came out, right? This information came out where he was, had this contract, making all this money, and he was on the board. So he said, well, I'm going to step away from the board because I believe that's a volunteer position because I'm making too much money here, right? And they do all the printings for all the candidates. All of the candidates. I'm sure Precision Strategies uses them. That's Zahi Jarris's company. Dunwoody Golf Course. They got $14,000. I'm not sure why. $14,700. Dunwoody got another $14,155. Oh, Homestyle Caterers, the fairways at Dunwood. Oh, Dunwood. Is that Dunwood, not Dunwoody? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Rose Press Inc., again, $13,000. Rose Press Inc., $9,900. Rose Press Inc., $7,099. Rose Press Inc., $5,078. This is all, no, it's not all in the same year. But that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money there. So, this is what Mike Cater's alleging in his lawsuit, that they simply raise money through this Committee for a Better Yonkers to spend on an attack campaign to get him out of office. This was a Get Mike Cater Out of Office, this right here, out of office committee. And their idea of making Yonkers better is by removing the only man that wanted to bring more affordable housing to the city of Yonkers. The only man that was wanting the taxpayers not to foot the bill for the studies that they needed to do over at the Ludlow area for the developers. So they can know, what's, they have to do these studies, right, in order for them to do these developments. But why should taxpayers foot the bill? They're going to make the money. The people who own property there and are going to eventually sell it are going to make the money. And so Mike Cater didn't understand why. Why did it go from a Ginsburg private rezoning proposal to a municipal proposal where it seemed like it was coming from the city and now the taxpayers were footing the bill? And so Mike Cater didn't want us to pay for it. So the Committee for Better Yonkers, which received money from Ginsburg Development, spent most of that money on attacking Mike Cater. And that's why it's important that you see that, because you see where their expenses went, right? Exactly where he says that they went. And so that's super important, because that also shows that there's corruption here, right? This is corrupt politics, right? If they don't like someone, if someone is for the people, they will come at you. These developers want to make money, so they don't care. So they're going to fund this organization, knowing that this organization is going to remove the elected officials who get in their way. And I know that these smaller developers look for the corrupt individuals within our government and city departments to grease palms so they can get their way. Because I was approached by one on Yonkers Avenue by Delgado's. Guy was doing a property there named Sam. He says, "Hey, do you have any connections hook up at the building department?" He saw that I had some plans that day in my car. And I said, "What do you need?" I said, "Give me a number, because we do construction. So I'm looking for potential relationships. I'll do the job there." I didn't know anybody. They're giving me a hard time, right? So I said, "Give me a number though." But I never, contacted them back because I didn't have anyone. But the point is that I know that they look for people. So I'm sure that he eventually found someone who pointed him in the right direction. And I hear that's one of the guys that gets permits fast. They also grease the palms of people who can identify properties that are, have heavy violations, or that have maybe tax liens, or other things where they can go in and get them cheap. And this is insider information. It's the public, doesn't really know of this stuff. They're not privy to auctions sometimes that are going to happen. They don't truly make them all the way public. And so they only want, or only play ball with a certain group of individuals. And that's a problem. And they collude and they become a cabal to take over the city of Yonkers. And they have. Right? And you can't have a rezoning plan without changing the zoning laws. So what did they do when they had individuals in the zoning board of appeals that wouldn't play ball? They removed them too. See, this is all becoming a pattern. They removed 2 individuals without even notifying them. You know how they found out? When they were watching a city council meeting when they were appointing their replacements. One of them was a 21-year-old kid whose father was a real estate investor here in Yonkers. He replaced an individual who was experienced, knowledgeable, and had been there for over 30 years. But he would not approve the project on Hudson Street. They wanted to put 28 stories. They settled for 25. But because these individuals would not go along with it, they had him removed. And who? Wilson Kimball, the head of municipal housing. Well, what do you know? Geez, these individuals just keep on circulating, right? She's the boss of the guy that was luring girls into the stairwell. The friend of the city council president, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy. The woman who was sponsored, supported by, and said that she will rely heavily on Wilson Kimball for guidance, the head of Macy, who is now head of the Zoning Board of Appeals after she got individuals removed. But she's known for having people get fired. She did it down at Battery Park City Authority when she worked there. And how do I know? It was in the New York State Inspector General's report when she was investigated along with her husband for fraud and corruption. So she left and ended up here in Yonkers, along with her husband, who heads the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency, the agency that gives these developers tax breaks. The tax breaks that are there to provide jobs for local people. But they don't. but they still get the tax breaks. They pushing the local people out. You know what's interesting? I had a woman reach out to me because, lately I've gotten a lot of people reaching out to me, a lot of people from all over. And this woman just moved to Yonkers. She's fairly new to Yonkers, right? And I want to stress that because, certain individuals who want to discredit basement politics say it's only a few hateful people. It's not. It's really not. It's really, and they know it. That's why they keep mentioning me. But this woman likes what I'm doing. She appreciates me explaining these things, and she said, I'm concerned. She just moved lives in the developments, one of the new ones, but she says she's concerned because they're developing too fast and it's becoming too crowded, too much traffic. She said it's dangerous, becoming dangerous to her. So even the people moving in that these developments are supposed to be for are now starting to say, wait a minute, it's too much development going on. And it really is. I mean, this place is being overly developed way too quick. It's just too much. There are another 7 buildings going up next to the Avalon. One huge one with 900 units on Buena Vista, across the street from another one that's going up with 230 units, which is, a 2-minute walk from the one on Hudson Street that's 25-story with over 240 units. The one that was approved only because zoning board members were removed by Wilson Kimball. And they had to do that because they wanted to get these projects approved. So they did the same thing with Mike Cater because of the Ludlow project. And now he's suing. And maybe you guys from the zoning board should sue, the ones that were removed. Can you? Can you guys sue? I wanted to show some of the people that contributed to the Committee for a Better Yonkers, but all these pages expired, and I don't want to keep going through them, and it takes time. I apologize. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about that because it's important. It's all tied together. It's all about these developers and individuals within the city of Yonkers who are corrupt, our officials who are working along with the developers like Tasha Diaz, right? She sold out the people when she killed the affordable housing ordinance, the one that Mike Cater actually authored. It wasn't Shanae, it was Mike Cater. He dished it off to Shanae and said, hey, take a look at it. If there's anything you think you can make any revisions, go ahead. And then allowed her to present it because he wanted it to pass. He didn't want to take the credit. It wasn't about that. It was about getting this new ordinance passed, which would increase the requirement that these developers would have had to abide by in terms of affordable units. It would have doubled it, right? It would have put it from 10 to 20. But the developers didn't want it. So the developers got their way. They got Tasha Diaz in their pocket. Why do you think she appears at all these groundbreakings? Even if they're not in her district, why does she care? She wants to be seen with the developers. She wants to look flashy. It's all about the money. And unfortunately, they've sold this out. Yeah, they sold this out. But I'm not the only one that's saying that. Did anyone see the post by Sheb Dixon? Is that his name? Sheb Dixon? Anyone see that? What's that about? Is Sheb Dixon Shanae Williams' boyfriend? Is that, am I getting that right? There's a gentleman by the name of Sheb Dixon. He put up a post, and I want to bring it up here. Very interesting. And he's talking about sellouts. And I've been saying this, and I'm glad that other people now are starting to come forward about it because it doesn't make it look like it's just Freddie is just talking ish, right? No. There are a lot of other people talking about it. I got it on my phone. I'm going to read it from my phone. This is very interesting. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but it involves another city employee doing something criminal, it appears. What the hell is going on? What is going on here? I'm going to read this to you because I got it sent to me by a few people. I'm telling you, thank you guys. I appreciate you keeping me informed. Thank you. It does. It says, for your information, the person that trashed my apartment is a male, one that works for the city of Yonkers, a very disgusting one that many of you are friends with in Yonkers. Sooner than later, everything will be revealed. These people walk around as if they are bigger than life, stepping on anyone and everyone, stealing from the people. Then they act as if they're doing good things. Narcissistic a-holes, quote unquote. Can anybody confirm whether or not that's Shanae Williams' boyfriend? Because if it is, I got a story to tell. They need to fire all of them. You're right, Teresa. We have to come out and vote next year. The only way they're going to get fired is if we elect new officials, because they got there by appointments and recommendations by officials. And so they feel like they're untouchable now, right? I mean, the head of DPW, the Department of Public Works here in Yonkers, is a man by the name of Tom Meyer. Well, Tom Meyer is also the chairman of the Yonkers Democratic Committee, the Democratic Party. So if you do party favors, or you do favors for the party, I should say, you just may get a job with DPW, right? And I'm not going to say any more because I don't want no guys to agree, so clear. Thank you. You need to get some R&R, Freddie. Take a trip to Harris Beach and test the waters. Yeah, Harris Beach is the law firm that is currently extremely busy representing our elected officials. Harris Beach, this is another quid pro quo possibility here, actually, that it's more obvious, has more circumstantial evidence than the Mike Cater quid pro, yet no investigation. Harris Beach is a law firm that has city contracts. Harris Beach goes back to Battery Park City Authority with Wilson Kimball and James Kavanaugh. Remember I told you that Wilson Kimball can get people fired? Well, she didn't like someone that worked at Battery Park City Authority, and she wanted to get them fired. But before her side piece at the time, because she was having an affair with her now husband, back then, James Kavanaugh. Well, he was married, she wasn't, but they were messing around. She went to him and said, "Hey, James, I want you to fire this girl." And according to the IG's report, before he did so, he consulted with his law firm, or private law firm, Harris Beach, before firing this girl because Kimball did not like her. Interesting. She's the reason why the whole investigation came about. So you city employees that are tired of it, you have to speak out, call the IG, the Attorney General, the Southern District of the state of New York. You have to. You got to bypass Westchester. I hear Westchester it's done. Can't rely on it, right? So that's what's important about Harris Beach. So now Harris Beach is in Yonkers. I don't know if they came with James Kavanaugh, if they were already here, and Wilson Kimball, and they are representing some of the defendants in the Mike Cater lawsuit. But they also have city contracts. And they're also representing John Rubo, councilman for the 4th District, in his lawsuit. Well, he's being sued by former employees for unpaid wages. But what I don't understand, Rubo, is that both of your companies got PPP loans that you did not have to pay. So why didn't you pay your employees? Now they're suing him in federal court, and he is using, is he using Harris Beach? Is it Harris Beach, or is it Matt Gallagher? I forget. I forget. I think it might be Harris Beach. But, right? Oh, and he also used Harris Beach, John Rubo, last year when he challenged Carlos Burgos' signatures during the elections. So Harris Beach makes a lot of money with these elected officials all over the place, yet they only investigated Mike Cater and Smith Bus Jacobs. And Smith Bus Jacobs contributed $4,000 to the Committee for a Better Yonkers, which was throwing him under the bus. No pun intended. Right? So you got to see, this whole mess, right? So Rubo, you get PPP loans that you don't have to pay. He's got a company, besides the Yonkers Brewing Company, he's got another company that I brought out to light that nobody knew about, called A Perfect Solution. A Perfect Solution, John Rubo Inc. It's a credit card processing company. It's still active because he got a PPP loan last year for it, even though it has one employee, for $89,000. The Yonkers Brewing Company got a PPP loan for $169,000. Now, why didn't you pay your employees, John? Why, John? Why? Why, John? Lakeisha, nowhere to be seen. Yeah, she's probably in Antigua too with Lisa, the deputy commissioner of the Parks Department. Could you believe it, folks? These are you know what? I was talking to somebody about this, and I said, listen, these family and friends people. I mean, they're just bad for us all around. Not only do they take jobs unfairly, not only do they get paid on average over $100,000, not only do they not do their job correctly if they show up to work, but they're hurting the community. They're traumatizing the community. Three of them, right? Sexual, allegations of sexual misconduct or, sexually touching or whatever, luring for young people for sex. A Yonkers fireman was fired recently. A teacher, Yonkers teacher, fired recently. Now we got this guy who was a former city employee. He was let go, but somehow he was hired at Macy, who gave him that job. Now he's also being alleged to have lured a girl and gave her money for sex in a staircase. And then we got the guy who was driving drunk who killed a 16-year-old boy on McLean. This all in less than 2 months. And I like to throw in the city's resident videographer who's convicted of sexually touching a 16-year-old at his karate school when he had one. He was a karate teacher once before he was running around with his camera as a Yonkers voice. And his 16-year-old girl accused him of touching her inappropriately. He pleaded down. The documents were sealed, but he had to go to psychiatric evaluation and drug testing. He was ordered to stay away from the girl. He had order protections, and he had to go through drug testing and alcohol, whatever. He had to stay away from alcohol and stuff. And there are other people. I was told of other people who just not come forward. And yet this man is running around. That's why I mention him. It's not about this competition thing. He's no competition to me. It's not even about that. What we do is two different things. He's trying to make money. I'm trying to inform you. I'm trying to wake, some people up. So this is something's wrong with this, where we have this problem with city employees hurting the community, and they're through the friends and family network. That's another reason why we must end it. Because they walk around, as this post said, like they're bigger than life, like they can get away with anything. I mean, look at Akeem, the former aide to the mayor, who was driving drunk, went the wrong way on Central Park Avenue, crashed into a car, hurt the guy. And then now he got a job with the governor, Kathy Hochul, making $200,000 a year. What about Tasha Diaz, who assaulted her stepdad? I mean, there are many people who are attesting to it. They gave me the broke down details of why it even happened. I mean, the background story of why. And yet nothing happened. And I can go on. There are other incidences, but out of respect for people, because I do have a level of respect, I'm not going to mention it, but I will say that things are not always brought to light. They do cover things up, and it's not okay. It's not okay, because that's what happens, or what happens when you cover it up for so long. You have an incident like the guy driving drunk who kills a 16-year-old because when other people were driving drunk, there were no real consequences. And so we have to stop this. And obviously, if the Federal Bureau of Investigation is not going to come down here, or the district attorney or the inspector general, then we must do something about it. And we do that through the elections. Do we want it to stay the same, or we truly, or do we really want it to change? Which one is it? Because if you believe what the Yonkers Times has to say, as well as Yonkers Voice, they'll lead you to believe that people love what's going on now. They love what's happening, and they don't want anything to change. But people all over are complaining. Everywhere I'm at, people stop me now to tell me something, because I'm that guy that you tell things to, right? And so people told me about their family member who was a cousin who was kicked out today. I was told this because their rent in the No Don Hill section went up to an amount that they could not afford on Ash Street. That's in the No Don Hill section. one of the poorest sections of Yonkers, if not the poorest section, District 2. That's represented by a mayoral hopeful by the name of Corazon Pineda Isaac. I hear her husband's not a big fan of the Yonkers politics either. Well, it's time you guys start convincing your wives to start speaking out. Silence makes you just as guilty. The boat is sinking. I don't know if there's any life rafts, but if they are, I suggest you guys start going for them now. Start going for them now. There's a lot of pirate booties and bodies buried at Harris Beach. You'll be getting a treasure map sent to you soon. Thank you. I can't wait. Just don't send me any pictures of little boys, please, or girls, or anything like that, please. Nothing with children that's sexual, anything like that. They try to set me up that way once. How much is the Harris Beach contract? I'm not sure, but it's a lot of money. Wait until the city council once again tries to overturn the term limits that voters decided upon not once, but twice. Exactly. And that is why they're trying to paint the narrative that we want things to continue. We don't want things to change. So therefore, we are in agreement with the term elimination idea. So we need to be vocal to say, no, that's not true, because they're trying to ignore it as if that is, so they can go ahead and overturn it. That's why they created that bogus rally. That was a tactic. Could you believe that our city government utilizes tactics like this, right? They're operatives, political operatives, that will go and create a fake bogus rally. They'll create a flyer. They'll send it out because they have mailing lists. So they'll send it out a email blast to everybody damn near in the city about a rally. But people know it's bogus. No one's taking the lead. There's no real details. They even offered to provide transportation. But people didn't show up because they knew it was bogus. Some people were actually concerned it was a setup like January 6th. They were like, we ain't doing that no more. We learned from January 6ers. And so they didn't show up. So in that, they said, well, look, people must want terms eliminated. No one showed up to the rally except 4 people. No one showed up, folks. I was there. There was not 4 or 5 people like they say. No one showed up. Only people that were there for the city council meetings, which I sat in. And that's when they started to make the announcement that they were going to be naming Wilson Kimball. Actually, they did. They named her the chair that day. That was the big thing. And that's why I was there. I knew they were going to name Wilson Kimball the chair because she is going to rezone the entire city. So again, if you don't want terms eliminated, if you want to see new elected officials, if you don't want the same politicians in office, then you need to let every city council member know that we do not want you guys to overturn term limits. There are limits for a reason. We don't care how good you are. Great, thank you very much. It is the job of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party to find new candidates that can continue whatever greatness you think has been created here. But it's not your job's party, well, really the Democratic Party is pushing for this, to overturn term limits. Okay, we cannot just go around changing things for the sake of certain individuals, because that's what's been happening in politics, not just locally, but nationally. Just change the laws now. Just change them so it can benefit those that are in power currently. It's not okay, folks. That's not okay. We want to be able to have the ability to get people out, right? Because what you can do by eliminating terms is create a system where people just continue to get voted and voted and voted in. If they create a machine and a system here where they can influence, alter, manipulate, steal, let's say it, elections, they will do that until they die. And when people say, Freddie, that's conspiracy, it is not. And I will break it down to you once again. They send people up to the Board of Election. Each person can grab up to 5 ballots, yours and 4 others. These absentee ballots, absolutely, you can do this right now. So they gather people, they get 100 people. That's 500 ballots that will vote for their one specific candidate. They then take those ballots to the people because they collect their information, their names, their emails, where they live, when they line up for food and at other functions. And then they go to the senior housing, they go to the affordable housings, the low income housing, the people that they know are going to vote. They bring them their ballot with a bag of food and say, here you go, sign here. And they got to vote. That should be illegal. That should be illegal. And then they go in the obituary and they see who just recently died. Let's get their ballot. And we're going to sign it for them because they ain't going to know. They're not alive. And the system doesn't catch up. So when you hear that dead people voted, you're right. When people say, no, dead people, how can dead people? You're right. The dead people didn't vote. It was those that knew they were dead that voted on their behalf. And so we got to stop being naive and playing this game. And we have to come out and start speaking out. We all have to do this together. And I'm seeing a wave starting to form here. And I'm really happy about that. And somebody said that, someone that's very smart, knows politics, been here for a very long time, elderly, one of the elders, said that the only one that can beat Mike Spano if he runs again is a minority from the South Side. And I don't want to make it about race. I don't want to make it about color. I don't want to make it about side, right? And I think what he meant by that is that we need somebody that truly cares about this community, somebody that's not connected to the corruption, and somebody that's not looking to benefit from their time in office. We have to think long and hard. Who can we vote for? Because there will be some people presented to you folks that I hope you will put your support behind. Absolutely true. And I can't wait till we get to that point. But it's all been set in a way that we must follow the plan. Follow the plan and know this is not no QN and stuff. I never did believe in that bull crap. Stay away from those things. They try to just get people looking crazy. There is no checks and balances anymore with respect to the legislative and executive branch. When the mayor gives family and friends of council members non-competitive jobs, following the jobs given to certain individuals after the last city council vote to overturn limits. Absolutely, right? So they entice the city council because they're all puppets. That's why I say, we need to get rid of all of them. They're all puppets. They're rubber stampers, and they get enticed by the administration with jobs. You got Corazon Pineda's sister working for the city. I think her mom might be working for the city. Tasha Diaz's stepdaughter is about to join the police academy soon. Shanae Williams' boyfriend gets funding for his, rowboat or canoe thing he does, right? Who else? Tasha Diaz. I already said her. You could see her. She changed, right? She's getting money. She's getting more money. She got the majority leader title. That was her prize, or one of her prizes, for killing the affordable housing. So there is no checks and balance. That is why I'm hardest on the council, because that is their job. And they are compromised. They have been corrupted. Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, she doesn't even want to be there. And that's not okay, because that is an important position, an important role. And for you to sit there to simply just keep a seat warm because you're not really making the true decisions. You said it, Wilson Kimball. She was going to be the one in your ear whispering, telling you what was going to be done. And that's what you've been doing all along. That's a problem, folks. We have no representation whatsoever in City Hall. The people of every single district do not have representation in City Hall. I think the only representation that the people have at this time is right here on Basement Politics. Joan Gretzky, where is the district attorney looking into this and other illegal acts? Well, I knew that the district attorney was compromised when I saw her parlaying over there with all of them when they were looking for votes in front of the war memorial right there in City Hall. She was there. Jamal Bowman, Mike Cater was there that day. Very Shako, all of them were there. They're all part of the team. After a while, when these people stay in politics for so long, they become like, this little group of friends, so to speak, right? And they just continue to look out for each other because that's what works for them anyway. I mean, enough of the same individuals. Politics is not a career. It's really not. We should be there to serve our community, and then we move on. Let the next person come in and serve. New ideas, new perspective, things change in communities. And so you have to have that change, that progression also. You can't have the old guard. You got these, old dudes, old fogies now, still in control. And they're controlling both politics. That's the gimmick. That's the game. You control both sides. That way you have no competition. And that's why the Republicans have no real candidates. Once the city became largely Democratic, everybody started jumping ship. Well, for the most part, a lot of people jumped ship from the Republicans, right? They had to. Even Zahi Jeris, he went from the Republican chair of the committee to now he's behind the scenes over at the Yonkers Democratic Committee, very strong, controlling it through his ward leaders. That's what happens here in the city of Yonkers. Keep term limits. That's right. We need to, and it's important. So you see this Yonkers Voice, you see this Yonkers Times, anyone else who gets paid through the city to report nonsense, people want term limits. People do not want things to stay the same. I can't imagine that the majority of people who will not benefit from these luxury developments want luxury developments. That doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, we want to be pushed out. Yeah, we want to pay more in taxes. Yeah, we want to pay higher rents. Yeah, we want to pay more for utilities, lights, and everything. Yeah, we want our roads to stay screwed up. And folks, these developments have made our roads worse. All of the work that Con Edison is doing throughout the city, closing streets off, leaving them just like bombs hit them, it's because of these developments. They have to go in there for the gas pipes and all that stuff, so they have to open up the street. So these developments are also causing our roads to be bad. How long is that going to last? Some of these projects, these are 10-year plans. Can't wait till they start building Chicken Island up. Oh, man, what a mess that's going to be over there on Nepperham. Nobody cares. Mr. James, whatever government agency which might investigate Yonkers, doesn't realize that true corruption happens every day via the Yonkers payroll. Not sexy, not under the table, but right under our noses. That's right. That's right. That's absolutely right. And that's how a lot of people get paid off is through the jobs, right? They give them positions within the city. And so they then do their bidding, right? And again, it's these individuals. So when people say, Freddie, don't go after these, I try not to. But again, these are the individuals that allow the system to continue to operate. They need the people that they put into these positions. They need the James Kavanaugh, Wilson Kimball's, the Tom Myers, the Sam Borellis, right? The Lisa Harrises, the Steve Sansones, right? The Jose Alvarados, Tasha Diaz's, Shanae Williams, the John Rubos, the Keisha Collins Bellamy, Corazon Pineda Isaac. They need these individuals. Then these individuals are allowed to give their family little hookups too. That's why they give them these cars also, and they haven't taken it away. They should have taken these cars away. I mean, did you see those pictures of the schools? Yet they spend money on these cars for these people, part-time jobs. These cars that, majority of people technically cannot afford in the city of Yonkers based on the income. It's unbelievable. But they get that free insurance, free gas, jobs for their families, DPW. Get a job there. Like one individual who just came home from jail, a felon, in April. He had a job before the summer was out with DPW. His dad is connected. How many people have been waiting to get a job with the city who don't have a felony? But you're not connected. And so it's important to talk about that stuff, right? It's important to talk about the doctor who, falsifies health exams in order to get individuals hired, individuals who do not, otherwise meet the, health criteria. And this is in general, not talking about anybody. I'm just saying this, I'm sure it's happened many times, right? So we have to stop these individuals, because then they put these individuals in the school board, or they put them in the, joint school board, construction board, whatever thing is called, or they put them in these boards, in the zoning board, right? Even though they might be volunteer positions, they're still getting something out of that. What do you think Wilson Kimball's getting out of volunteering to be the chair of the Zoning Board of Appeals? Why would she do that? Because she loves Yonkers? She's not from Yonkers. She just got here in 2012 after she ran away from the investigation over at Battery Park. So what is she getting out of it? And why does she do that to the people who were on the waiting list with housing? She completely reshuffled the waiting list, did a lottery, and some people who were on it for years are no longer on it because they did not get picked in the lottery. How does that happen? How do you just do that to people? Because they're pushing people out. They're selecting who they want. The city council president was a part of that. Unbelievable. I wrote that. Unbelievable. Facts. That's right. Exposing Yonkers corruption. That post you did with the schools. And you know what I really loved about it? The song. You know, I love Pink Floyd. Great, one of the greatest bands, right? So I love that you included that particular song with the pictures of the schools. And maybe there could be more pictures. Maybe parents can send pictures to us. You can email me at politicwithfred@gmail.com or politicswithfred@gmail.com. Send me all the pictures from schools. Continue to reach out to me, folks, because it's together that we're going to do this, and we need the information to be exposed. Eventually, somebody's going to have to say, hey, what's going on there in Yonkers? Do you hear all that noise that they're making? Maybe we should create a hashtag that we all use, right? I don't know. Maybe someone can come up with a hashtag. Hashtag Yonkers corruption. And we all just always use that hashtag because we have to create a huge social media campaign. This is grassroots to root out corruption, folks. We have to do it together. We have to get creative. So yeah, I mean, look, I did this with basement politics. People are spreading the word now. Other people are starting to follow suit, like exposing Yonkers corruption. So it's growing. So imagine if we all just pump it out there. Hashtag Yonkers corruption and tag Mimi Roca, tag the Attorney General, tag the Inspector General, tag the Southern District of the State of New York. Keep bombarding them. It was that reason why they didn't like me to begin with, the officials, because I was bombarding them asking for help. And instead, they wanted Rurose to hurt my business. These pieces of, you know what? Hashtag ZD for Nick. You make people mad with that one. I'll tell you that. Folks, by the way, really quick, I'm not sure what's going on. If anybody sees the individual by the name of Prince Robinson, you can ask him, hey, Prince, what's up with those flyers you're creating there, buddy? I am not interviewing Eric Adams. I am not interviewing Kathy Hochul. However, this is something that Prince Robinson maybe wishes for, but I'd appreciate if he tells me, although he's put out a flyer saying that I would be interviewing Kathy Hochul tomorrow, which is not true. And he does work for Rurose. Prince Robinson is actually the only person that's officially announced that he is running for mayor. Actually, it's true. Prince Robinson officially announced it maybe 2 years ago, a year ago. So he's officially announced. He's the only one. But he's creating these flyers. I'm not interviewing Kathy Hochul tomorrow. He does work with Rurose to produce his little interviews that he does. He's the camera guy. He's the guy that Rurose gets frustrated with sometimes, you know, when he goes, huh, you got it? Then he gets up and then he has to go do it. It's Prince behind there. So I don't know if he's doing this on behalf of his, you know, friend. Is he paying you, Prince, at least? You know, it's sad. As from listen, I'm going to be totally honest with the city of Yonkers. My wife and I obviously have experience. I've worked in also schools with special needs, for students with special needs. And so I can identify individuals who may have, you know, I don't know how to best put it. I don't want to offend anybody. But the point is that I can understand, you know, I can identify individuals. And one thing I noticed right away when I started to, you know, engage in Yonkers politics is that some of our elected officials, they definitely take advantage of certain individuals that can easily be manipulated, let's just say. And they understand that, but they know what, you know, they could utilize them for. And there are about 3 or 4 individuals. And some of you probably know who I'm talking about. And it's crazy that you guys do that. You exploit them. Unbelievable. And so I hope that Yonkers voice, you're paying Prince. I hope you're not exploiting him. Are you give him any money? Any money from ads you make? Tell him the truth. You pleaded to touching that little girl. And there's other girls, and I'm women now. They're women now. And I'm hoping to get them come forward. Rue Rose, you better hope I don't get them come forward. All right. So I don't know what's up with Prince, my man, my guy. I don't know what I did to you. I get it. You know, Rue Rose is your guy. But, you know, it's not your battle, dude. It's not your battle. You know, you're not, you know, his relative. You guys don't look alike. So please, you know, get the nonsense out, man. Come on. Now it's not Dell. It's not Dell. I don't know. I don't. That's not Dell. Dell actually a good guy. I talk to Dell often. You know, I support Dell. I do. I pay for him to share my stuff. I actually haven't seen him. I gotta have him come by actually, but I was paying him monthly. And so I gotta have him come back for this actually month. I haven't seen him in a month about. But yeah, I've been paying him for several months now, Dell. So just share my stuff. I pay people. I'm not, I don't take advantage. I don't want nothing free from nobody, unless you don't deserve to be paid. Okay, because some people think that I'm supposed to be paid. No, you don't get paid unless, you know what I'm saying? You give me what I'm looking for, right? Try to cheat me and then you want to get paid, screw me over. Anyway, folks, I'm up out of here. It's hour, perfect. I don't know what's up with Prince though. Prince, I think you got a campaign to focus on, dude. Don't worry about basement politics. Don't get involved with that, Tell your guy to stop, I'll stop, And I don't know, again, was that Sinead Williams' boyfriend, that Chef Dixon? I did reach out to the individual. I was wanting to ask him what was that all about, that post. A Yonkers City employee trashed his apartment. Someone that many of us know and are friends with. Who is that? And why did he trash his apartment? The plot thickens. It's only going to get better, folks. It's only going to get better. It truly is like a movie. It's only going to get better. So just hang tight. There's definitely more to come. The best is yet to have arrived. Anyway, folks, I'm Freddie Vasquez. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. And if there's anything specifically, again, reach out to me, and I'll try to get to back to you folks. Sometimes I don't get my messages on Facebook and Instagram. So try to email me is better. politicswithfred@gmail.com or politicwithfred@gmail.com. Let me know what's going on. Send me the documents. Send me the pictures. I got some crazy pictures that will really do some damage. It's just that I don't know if that's really relevant, right? And I don't want to be that guy. But if I got to be that guy, I will. You know what I mean? But I don't want to. But I will. Right? So I'm hopefully that maybe they can fix up the Glen. Steve, Sansone, please fix up the Glen, man. Do something good. Fix up the Glen Park. Do like a whole grand reopening of the Glen Park so we can forget about the fact that your deputy commissioner once stole $3,000 in a parks permit scheme, and now her husband, was luring girls into the stairwell. All right, Steve? Come on, Steve. Steve, you don't want to be associated with that. Please fix the Glen. We'll talk about that. Oh, and by the way, David Tubiolo, I did reach out to you. What's going on with this Bernice Breckman Center? You know what I'm saying? Come on, Dave. I've been trying to not say nothing about you, Dave. I haven't. Please reach out to me. politicswithfred@gmail. You got my cell, I think, Dave. Please. Right? Because I'm here to help the community. Those are our seniors, man. That's what I'm about. Please, Dave Tubiolo, Westchester County Legislator. Come on, let's talk, man. How can we help the seniors? Please explain that situation to me. Why are they having such trouble with their board? Is someone upset about the fact that they had that rally? See, this is the problem. You can't rally and speak up because you will get retaliated on. And is that John Rubo? Or John, is that you doing this to the seniors? I know the head of the board of the Bernice Breckman Center is good friends with your grandparents. Is he compromised? My lovely seniors over there at the Bernice Breckman Center, is he compromised? Tell me, folks.
Another one, Mr. Rubo lied to me, and I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
You hear that? That was one of the seniors that was at the rally. That's where she said that at.
In another other one, Mr. Rubo lied to me, and I don't vote
For
for
a person that lied to me.
Thank you very much.
You're messing with them because they said that, Rubo, and they rallied? That's sad, yo. These are seniors, man. Have some respect, brother. What's the big deal? Give them the board. Let them do their thing. Let them enjoy their life at the center. What's the issue over there, man? Steve, what's the issue, Steve? Like, this is what I don't understand. This is why we got to vote for new people, because I don't see why there's an issue with the seniors and their center over at the Bernice Berkman Center. I don't understand that. Like, what's the issue? Give them their center and their board. Let them do their thing. Why are you guys involved? Why are you involved? We need affordable housing. Did you see the condition of the schools? Why are you guys involved in that? Absolutely, he is being vindictive. John Rubo, right? Come on, I don't want to be vindictive either, Dave. Tubiolo, come on, man. We used to party together, brother. So I think I met you first, right? Was that the first? No, I think we met before that. But we used to party together, Dave. Remember? Before I was doing basement politics? Come on, man. Make sure, come on. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Those parties, you know, that we used to go to. You know what I mean? Come on, Dave. Help us out here, please. They're trying to just do their thing at a senior center. Why are you guys messing with them? Why? I don't understand that, man. Because they rallied. Now you're going to show them something, John? Or are you mad at Carolyn? You mad at Carolyn, John? Is that what it is? Are you getting back at Carolyn by being mean to the seniors, John? Come on, John. I've been laying off on you too, man. I've been trying to be easy on you. Because I got a few more things for you. But I'm trying not to. So please. Yeah, I heard about this. He told Ron Mattin to mind his business and stay out of his district. Yes, that was funny. I started laughing when I heard that. That sounds like John. So they were at a flag raising over at City Hall. And Ron Mattin goes to him. He said, you know, some of the seniors gave me a call and I went to meet with them over in your district. And so Rubo's response was like, Ron, do me a favor and stay out of my district. So Ron says, well, you know, I'm going to be announcing soon. They may all be my district. And he was implying that he may be running for mayor, which he's not. But that's what his response was. I thought that was funny. And he walked away from him. That's very funny, man. And, you know, John, come on, brother. Like you just make it. I mean, I guess maybe you feel so confident in, you know, your position and where you at and who got your back and all that you don't care. You know, I guess maybe, you know, but it's still, I mean, you got to look at yourself in the mirror. You know, there is a such thing as karma, and you do have a family. You don't want to bring any negative karma to you and your family. And one thing I learned about karma, folks, is that a lot of times it doesn't come back to you. It may come back to your offspring. God forbid. And I'm not wishing this on anybody. I'm just telling you. I think this is true. I believe this from my life experiences. So I believe in karma. And I'm just saying, you know, don't mess with the seniors, man. Come on, John. You're doing this because you're mad. Ron tried. Ron didn't get it. He should have cursed at him. Ron should be like, yo. Should have beat him up, Ron. I think he's about like maybe twice Ron's height. And so I'm not sure Ron wanted to go there. David is a weasel. Yeah, is he? Is he? Could be. Could be. I know we used to hang out at La Grota, me and him. Right, John? Right, Dave? We used to have the cigars over there on the balcony overlooking the McLean Avenue. You know what I mean? So fun times. Fun times, Dave. How much fun did you have, Dave? I had all right fun. How much fun did you have? What a story. What a story there. What a story there. What a story there. No, and I really mean that. I really mean that. So please, guys, come on. Like, listen, seriously, man. Like, you guys are so fucked up and corrupt. Like, give these people their dang center, please, man. Please. Give them their center. If you guys did the right thing, you guys would be fine. Nobody would have an issue with you. There'd be no basement politics. If you didn't bother Freddie, allow Freddie to do his business, even supported Freddie and say, man, that's a great idea what you're trying to do. We want to support you because it's very much needed here in the community. So let's do it because we care about the community. We care about our seniors. Let's make sure that they have everything they need at the Bernice Berkman Center. See, if you guys had that attitude, I think you'd be much better off, right? You can't blame us. They blame the people that are now speaking out about them. Oh, you can't blame us. It's you guys. You're the bad guys. We the good guys. Good night to all my good guys and girls. I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Thank you for joining me tonight. John Rubo, please, man.
In another one, Mr. Rubo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
Freddie wins.
I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Man, for real, this corruption stuff, I've been describing it lately as disgusting. Could you believe that they would go as so far as to mess with our senior population? Right, John? I mean, it's like, retaliating, for them for the fact that they had a rally because they wanted their center to get, renovated so it would be safe for them. And so they got upset with that. That's unbelievable. So now they won't let them have their board meeting. And they're actually thinking of disbanding their board. Why? Why? There's nothing else more important that you have to do. Nothing else. That's crazy, man. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm out of here, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
My baby girl.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
My baby boy.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
That's my baby girl, too. Love that woman. Shout out to my wife. I can't wait till we see the cheerleaders. I mean, it's going to take some time, but they're going to be here. She's working on a cheering squad for the high school football team. My wife was on the step squad in high school, so she's going to show them some of her moves. She's working with another, teacher, I believe, who was also a cheerleader. We're going to get it together, folks. We don't just talk about it, Mr. Alberto. I am doing a lot. More than you. More than you. Guaranteed. And I want to know, Alberto, did you really hand that water out? Or was that water you were just buying to store in one of your houses in Puerto Rico? Because you didn't show where you gave it out. You showed yourself loaded it onto your truck. But that's about it. Did you really give it out, Alberto? I doubt it. I doubt it. I hope you weren't selling it for double the price. I doubt it, though. I doubt you were giving that out. Anyway, shout out to my wife. I love you. I hope that, everything goes well with that cheerleading thing. I'm looking forward to seeing the squad hit the field. And then I like to work on a band, right? I want to have a band, a marching band. So when the kids go out there on the field, they have the cheerleaders, and then they have the band, right? So we're going to build this little by little. And I'm getting involved, I work this, but we gotta all do our part, and that's one thing I noticed about the schools where I went to out of state. The parents were very involved, and they would, all come out to the games. I mean, like a real football NFL game, so we really have to be more active. And I know we all work a lot and stuff like that. I get that and stuff, but we got to come out. We got to start really hitting hard. So anyway, thank you guys. Have a great night. I'm Freddie Vasquez. I'm up out of here. Tomorrow is Happy Hump Day. They won't let them have elections, yet No Dine and Scotty are having theirs. Why won't you let them have their elections, John? Steve, your deputy commissioner is over here, doing God knows what, because she's, not someone you're supposed to have there. You should be worrying about who's your deputy, not bothering the seniors. Let them have their election. Steve, you never know. There might be new elected officials next year. And because of you doing this, they might get you out of there. You might get fired when the new round of politicians come in. A lot of you might. I'm Freddie Vasquez. We had band many years ago. We're going to have it again, Carolyn. We're going to do it again. We're definitely going to do it again. We have to. Can't allow our kids to go like this for any longer. Anyway, I'm out of here. Let's see what happens with John. Let's see if Dave helps out.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
This is what our elected officials say in Yonkers.
what is that sweet spot? What determine, what is that sweet spot?
We're going to leave it where it is. Let's vote on this. Let's get it popping. Like I said, political games that are being played. You could apply.
That's our majority leader.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were. I went to Yonkers public schools. I don't think you did. We can go on all night with this, honey.
That's our majority leader.
Freddie wins.
Aren't we a proud
Fatality.
community? We are so proud of our government. There's no more community prouder than their government than those folks over at the city of Yonkers. Be wary of the Friends and Family Network employees. They are dangerous. If you are a Family and Friends employee hookup, you will have a high probability of being a pedophile.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
No! Pedophiles. Pedo voice. Stay away from pedo.